2018, said Steve McNamara. We'll be looking to add to him even greater responsibility and control within the team as we look to develop and build our game. So not a Frenchman, not a glamorous signing, but
I think it was essential that they tied down someone in the halfbacks. Both halfbacks played well with the ball.
Richie Myler, so it is very
exactly,
important.
Both main halfbacks for them last year played well with the ball. Luke Walsh went a try-assist a game throughout the season. Mm-hmm. Not many players did that.
No.
He was the main goal kicker, good goal kicker in that. He was in the top 5 in all the kicking statistics in terms of amount of 40-20s, amount of goals scored, kicking accuracy of goals, amount of attacking kicks put in. Yeah. So I think he was an essential re-signing for me. What I want to see them do is I want to see Lucas Albert actually play in the halves and play alongside him.
Yeah.
And I want them to go with that. Because I think, even though he's only, very young still, Albert, and people are trying to push him into a hooking role for some...
Well, what's ever happened to Ulrich da Costa? Because he came in and did well last year.
Well, but he's a shite defender who doesn't understand where to stand. He doesn't understand where he needs to be on the pitch. In defence or attack. Maybe that's something that can be worked upon.
Yeah.
I think they might want to go out and sign someone to pair with Paul Ayton, to be honest. But I think Walsh is a great re-signing, and I really want to see him get Albert playing in that 7 jersey alongside him on a regular basis next year. I think even in flashes in the World Cup games, he showed he can make breaks. He can do things that upset defenders.
Yeah.
I think
He's a good prospect, isn't he? Okay. And finally, Leeds Rhinos will travel to face NRL premiers the Melbourne Storm in February 2018. Super League champions the Leeds Rhinos will travel to Australia to take on the NRL premiers Melbourne Storm in this next year's World Club Challenge. The clash to determine the world's best rugby league team will be held on the 16th of February at AAMI Park at 8 p.m. It will be only the third time the World Club Challenge has been played in Australia, with Brisbane and Sydney the other cities to have hosted the showcase event. Melbourne and Leeds have already met in 3 World Club Challenge deciders in 2008, 2010 and 2013, with the Leeds Rhinos victorious in the 2008 game, but Melbourne Storm winning the other 2. So do you think Leeds can go down under and level the series, or do you think Melbourne are going to be too strong?
Well, I'll tell you what, it makes it an exciting weekend, doesn't it?
Certainly
You've got the double-header on the Saturday where, in the friendly games, admittedly, but the double-header on the Saturday with Hull and Wigan.
Yeah.
Playing against Souths and St George's, isn't it?
Yes.
So that's that makes that exciting. It makes me even more annoyed that my cousin's wedding falls that week on the Thursday of that week, which meant I couldn't do the trip down under. But I agree with you. If what you were saying is the Storm are going to win,
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But it should be a good event.
Well, look, it's a good thing for Leeds to go and test themselves.
Of course it is.
Down there, because they've not done that yet.
No.
And they need to show some sort of something, because last time they played on at this level, they were absolutely embarrassed by Jonathan Thurston and his Cowboys side in...
That night in February.
Yeah.
We were there, weren't we?
We were.
Jesus. We toured the whole World Club Series that week and didn't see a win, did we? An English win, anyway. Did we?
We didn't.
Warrington got beat. Wigan got beat. And
that was St Helens, Wigan and...
That was the year before.
Leeds. It was the year before that.
But yeah, Thurston tore them apart, didn't he? So good luck to them down under.
Certainly, I want Leeds to win.
Of course we do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, well, that's the news taken care of then. Let's take a look back now at round 3 of group fixtures and the quarterfinals of the Rugby League World Cup. Okay, so let's get back and review some games from the World Cup, because it is turning into an exceptionally exciting tournament with some real talking points to come as we look back. We'll start with round 3, the final round of group fixtures.
And this is where the talking points really... This is where the tournament really
bubbled into life, didn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we'll start on 2 Fridays ago on the 10th of November. Fiji took on Italy and were 38 points to 10 winners. Fiji's tries coming through Nakwama, Raiwului Williame, Vunivalu got a hat-trick, and Marcelo Montoya got one as well. Italy's tries coming through Josh Mantellato and Maloney, Mark.
Yeah, do you know what? I don't really remember this one that well.
No.
But
good on Fiji for getting the win.
Well, what it did show is Vunivalu really came to this World Cup.
Yeah.
He was ticking along, but then at this point,
he's a majestic rugby league.
Yeah, this was where he hit his high scoring rate, and it's just nuts how many tries he scores, the type of tries he scores. I think he was a significant part of the difference to me in this game, really, because Italy did surprisingly well. The other main memory from this game was the little hooker getting himself throwing a couple of digs on the ground.
Right.
Jared Hayne taking exception to that, and then they both went to the sin bin, and Joey Tramontana wanted to keep it going in the tunnel, I think.
Fight for Italian pride.
I'm not really sure.
Isn't it always
why
been
Jared Hayne went to the bin? If I'm honest,
hasn't it always been a dream of Jared Haynes to get sent to the sin bin?
But yeah, the other thing was obviously Terry Campese hobbling out on his crutches to play one final game, and that didn't really go to plan, unfortunately, for him.
Well, at least he got to say goodbye in Canberra, though, didn't he?
Yeah, but I think the main takeout from this was Fiji was still an exciting try-scoring machine at this time. I actually put together a team, not a team, but I did a blog. Don't know if you saw it. That's a no. So if you go to superleaguepod.com, you'll be able to read my blog, which is sort of group stage emerging stars. So it's players that have caught my eye in the group stages that I didn't know a lot about. So you can pretty much scratch any of the home nations players, because
we know about them.
I know about them. We know about them. So I focused more on players I didn't know a lot about. Most of them are sort of undercard NRL players who have played in the under-20s comps or have been playing in the New South Wales Cup or the Queensland Cup. And then I threw in Ilias Bergal from France. We'll talk about him probably later. But from the Fiji side, Viliami Kickout and Tane Milne made it, the second row in the centre.
Right.
And in this game, Kickout had 124 metres, and Milne was like an big offloader, loads of try assists at this stage at the group stage of the tournament, and was really impressive. So if Viliami Kickout doesn't build on from his handful of Penrith performances from last year, someone needs to go and sign him,
right? Because
he's a talent. And Tane Milne is now going to get a go for the West Tigers next year after mostly coming off the bench for the Dragons. So I think that's two players who've been exciting me so far in the tournament from Fiji.
Very good. Okay.
And Italy,
Mason
Caruto, the fullback with the beard, who looks like a sort of less glamorous version of James Tedesco, I suppose, is a way to describe him. And Joey Tramontana, they're in the list as well, so you can have a read about them. Caruto, I don't think he's as close to making it into the first grade side at Penrith. Obviously, some of the player movements might help him out, but he's one that I think could be worth looking at for the lower end of the Super League or the top end of the Championship clubs if they need a fullback or a winger. He looks better at fullback, I would say, than the wing. There you go.
Interesting stuff. Okay, so that's the Friday night then, into the Saturday, and Australia, predictably, were 34-0 winners over a plucky Lebanon side. Cam Munster got a couple, Maloney, Cordner, Gagai and Tommy Turbo on the score sheet for the Australians, Mark. We got some feedback on this one too.
Yeah, Brian Davies said, watch this from the sitting room in Perth with a few bottles of cold Aussie beer, fairly routine outing for the Kangaroos. Lebanon have gone down very well here, and it would be great to see them get more fixtures. Apparently they will play in the mid-season Pacific Test in 2018, which will help. Making the quarters finals obviously means they have automatically qualified for 2021. Obviously, the two losses that they've had to England and Australia were not a factor because they beat France in the game that mattered. Frogmore said, "It feels odd to say because of the scoreline, but we played pretty ordinary, meaning Australia. I get key players may have been rested, but it just felt like they played down a level, or maybe I'm just being harsh because we should have buried these farmers behind more."
Well, yeah. Look, you score 34 points and nil the side, and we're able to shuffle your starting 13, so I think that's mission accomplished, surely. From an Australian point of view.
There's two things about Lebanon that have stood out most in this World Cup, and this game was one of those games that sort of showed it. Really, is they don't make many mistakes when they do have the ball.
What's that like?
Well, we were second best up until the time that we kicked off in the quarter-final. More on that later on. But so they don't make many mistakes, but they don't do a lot explosively either, and they're not afraid to give away a penalty away to slow things down and mess things up. And this game and the England game, I felt like they were trying to play spoiler roles, and I do think that Australia played down a step to that. I also think a couple of players maybe didn't cover themselves in so much glory, but the backs were exciting. They mixed it around. I mean, Trebojevic and Munster in the centres. Who'd have put money on that?
Yeah,
but you know, people like Valentine Holmes and Dane Gagay had big games and were really impressive. In the forward pack, you were seeing Regan Campbell-Gillard really becoming like a candidate for like being one of the first forwards on the team sheet in this side. Which, you know, he's been great throughout, and this was another game where he made over 100 metres. It just was a chance to keep using the squad for Australia and then settle down for the quarterfinals and start picking your best side. Yeah, really.
Absolutely. Yeah, good on them. Okay, Samoa 14, Scotland 14 on the same day. Tries for Paolo Wright and Tom Lapierre for Samoa. Only 2 tries for Scotland through Tierney and Mariano, but Danny Addy kicked 3 goals. 14 on. Some feedback.
Yeah, Brian Davies said, fair play to Scotland. Without the drunken Danny McBrough, they put up a decent effort against Samoa. Imagine if he wasn't such a dick and had played. They'd probably have got the drop goal and gone on to qualify. Can anyone remember the third pisshead alongside McBrough and Johnny Walker? He'll be a quiz question in years to come.
Christ, I can't remember it now.
It's Sam Brooks.
At
Featherstone. I didn't realise that he would be the quiz question answer in a way, because Johnny Walker plays like
hell of a quiz,
like tier 3 in Australia, doesn't he now?
Yeah, he plays for the mechanics team, doesn't he? Yeah, there you go.
Neil McEwen, who's one of our Scottish fans, he says amazing performance from Scotland after the nightmare week with Brough and Co getting sent home for going into full George Best mode. Jesus. Really impressed with Danny Addy, the biggest halfback ever. This experience will hopefully do the lads just breaking into the squad good for future tournaments.
Yeah. And they were plucky to the extreme, weren't they, Scotland? And it definitely galvanised them, and you saw that in their performance. And actually, unlucky to not come away with the win.
Well, yeah, because they had those two drop goal efforts that were pretty poorly struck.
Yeah,
I've seen Oscar Thomas kick a tough drop goal in tricky conditions for Bradford earlier this year against Toulouse, but this was. They were bad kicks, but I thought Scotland were in control for so much of this game. Danny Addy was way better than I was expecting him to be, and Oscar Thomas actually had a decent game, I thought, alongside him in this one. They didn't miss Brough as much as I was expecting them to. Yeah. I do think they were helped by a couple of the senior players. Luke Douglas took over as captain. He made 45 tackles without missing one on 102 metres. He just did everything right, I think, and he worked really relentlessly hard, and that helped sort of stifle some of the big lads in the Samoa pack. And Matty Russell was absolutely exceptional, running out of dummy half, taking all the metres he could get and making a lot of them in this game. He was great, and really for Samoa it was all trying to bring the ball out their own end and not make a mistake, weren't it?
Yeah.
And they made a lot of mistakes. They made 16 mistakes in the game, and a lot of those came out of the halfback pairing, which I didn't get why they'd thrown that halfback pairing together. I think Ben Roberts was carrying a bit of a knock, so they obviously thought they could get through Scotland, who'd been crap up to this point.
Yeah.
And but the the disturbance obviously galvanised Scotland.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it was good. It was good to see, and Samoa were frustrated as well as not just by their own errors, but by Scotland's plucky performance as well. I think it took them by surprise. I think they were probably expecting a bit of a rollover from Scotland, and they didn't get that.
And when Junior Paolo scored that try early on, the power over try, that was just how Scotland were getting absolutely battered in the 2 games before. And I thought, oh crap, here we go.